Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. The sun is shining and the shirtless video season is finally upon us again. I know y'all been looking forward to this. Don't lie, I can see it in your eyes. Okay, so today's video was hard to title, I haven't decided yet. Both because it's a wide topic that's kind of philosophical in nature, but also because I know this kind of video always get less views. Like, even though I think some people that only watch certain videos of mine could really benefit from hearing this. So it's basically, what I'm going to talk about is basically overcoming your fears, becoming the person you want to be, and getting what you want to have. These kind of go together. So here we go. In order to overcome a fear or get good at something you want to be good at, you have to accept being bad at something and doing it anyway, being afraid or uncomfortable of something and doing it anyway. And so I want you to just take a second and think about what in my life, what struggles do I have that I want to overcome, or what do I want to have that I don't have yet. So I'm gonna go back and tell you about my backstory again, that if you think I repeat myself about my background with panic attacks and stuff, it's both I have to do that for newer viewers, but also you have to understand that people like me who do a drastic life change like this and try to spread it to other people, it's like that we found something that works for us and we're trying to spread it to you. So it's very important for you to understand where I'm coming from and yeah, why I know what I know. So if you don't know, before I turned into this fitness health freak kind of a guy, I was very different. I was skinny fat, I partied a lot, I had very bad habits regarding health and all that. And at one point in my life I ended up having chronic panic attacks. It happened first time at work and it was awful. And this led to me, of course, having intense fear of having another panic attack. And therefore an intense fear of going out and just being around people, because that's when it happened. But though I know that some people, when they get panic attacks, they actually think that they are dying. I actually was with a guy recently when he had a panic attack and he wanted me to tell him that it's all right, that he's not going to die. But for me this was not the case. I just got that feeling, like that dread, like some extreme threat. I was facing some extreme threat when I really wasn't, and I knew at the root of it, even though it's extremely uncomfortable, you know, and you just want it to be over with, I knew that I wasn't actually in danger, you know. And this is the case a lot of the time, even if it isn't something quite as extreme as a panic attack. We know that whatever we're afraid of doing isn't really dangerous, you know. And so, but in order to overcome that panic attack, you know, I've been doing this. I had, let's say this too, I always had, or not always, but from like my teens, I had stage fright, and it was very tough for me because I really dreamt about doing things like I'm doing now, just talking to an audience, you know, performing or talking, giving a speech or whatever to an audience, because I felt I could be really good at it, but I was so afraid of doing it. And I was always looking for ways to fix this without actually doing it, like googling how to be confident, how to get over stage fright, and I used like beta blockers that kind of, you know, inhibits the physical effects of being nervous, but it doesn't cause it doesn't cure the root cause. It's just a band-aid that doesn't fully help either. And so when you this is what I learned with the panic attacks, because it was so extreme what I was feeling, that I knew that this is not something I can just read about or take some pill for or whatever. I am going to have to keep getting these panic attacks, going to these situations that give me panic and experience it over and over until I can rewire myself into understanding that it is not a threat being around people. It isn't dangerous. Like, because I knew that factually, but my body didn't know it. This is the thing. Even when you know it factually, your body can think something else. And so I had to, over and over. It was 2 very, very long months with basically daily panic attacks. And I had to do it over and over and over again, facing this situation that I knew wasn't actually dangerous, but made me react as if it was very dangerous, until it gradually got better and better. The attacks got less intense, less frequent, until they disappeared. And so why am I talking about this? Well, because what I learned from that, it can be applied to so many things. So we take a common subject of this channel, like, you know, losing weight or building muscle, getting in shape. You know, lots of people, they are afraid of doing it, like both because it's uncomfortable not eating the way you always do, or not just lying around being lazy like you always do. You have to change in that way. But also people have fear of going to the gym, for instance, because they think they are fat and ugly, or they think they don't know what they're doing, and they will look like idiots in the gym. People will look at them, and there's so many things keeping them back. But I think lots of people, if they really think about it, it's like everyone else is there to do their thing, you know. They're not there to look at you and think, oh, what a fat idiot, you know. It isn't, it's in your head, right? It isn't actually dangerous. And even if people would think that, is that really dangerous? Is that really a threat to your existence? Will can't you get what you need to do done, even if people would have that thought that they probably don't have anyways? Well, of course you can. It's not a problem, really. It's just in your head. And so there's so many things. Where to go next, you know? Like, it's also that's what people end up doing with this, you know. People get addicted to watching videos like mine and fitness channels or other motivating content, you know, because it's a way of tricking yourself. You're doing the same thing that I was doing when I wanted to get over my stage fright without facing it, you know. Just keep reading and looking for the answer. So you kind of trick yourself into thinking that you're doing something to get what you want, but you're not really. Like, to a certain extent, of course, it's not the problem. Like, why would I even have this YouTube channel if it wasn't to motivate you or educate you, you know? So to a certain extent, of course, but you have to put something into practice. And so you have to be comfortable with, or not comfortable, but you have to accept that you will have to do something that you're not good at, that you don't know exactly what you're doing, or do something that you're not comfortable doing, that you're afraid of doing, in order to get over that fear, or in order to reach your goal. And again, think about it, the gym is just a good example with this, you know. But I want you to think that anything that you're afraid of, that you want to get over, anything you want to get better at, but you're, you know, putting off doing, apply this. You're going to have to do it. You're just going to have to do it. Like with training, I did this too, by the way. It was just not, I didn't, it was before I had this huge, like now I have a big interest in staying fit and, you know, everything. But before I had that, you know, I was the same. Like, it's not just not the right time. I need to learn more, you know. I need to understand better what I need to do. And again, of course, there's nothing wrong with going looking for information. But at a certain point, like one thing, if you don't know how to build muscle, you have to understand that what's not going to build a muscle is reading or looking at videos. Or if you don't know how to best way to lose weight, well, one thing that won't do it for you is sitting in front of your computer and looking at videos. You have to try something, you know. And you also you have to accept that you will fail. You will fail on your way there. It's almost impossible not to fail at some point. You know, again, I take this up because I came when the panic attacks were over and I got into all this. It was much easier for me to not fail because I was so motivated. I was happy, you know, because it was finally over, but I also so motivated to do something, like take measures to decrease the chance of this happening again. But even there, I did some slip-ups and mistakes, you know, and it's not the end of the world. In fact, when you realize that failures are a necessary step towards success, that's like the biggest insight you can have with this. No one, even someone you admire and look up to, maybe me or someone else in your life, you know, or some famous person, you know, not some other YouTuber or whatever. They have all failed. The reason they have become who they are is not because they were just gifted with something, you know. They have realized this, that in order to get what you want, you have to do stuff you're bad at to start with. You have to do stuff that you were afraid for to start with. And you get better. You learn through your failures. You learn that this didn't work. Okay, what will I try next? Okay, this worked. Nice. You know, that's how it happens. So yeah, I feel like there's something, other things. Like I hope you understand how you can apply this to anything. Like even what I'm doing now, I know I've talked about this in other videos, but I'm not like a super like socially anxious guy, but I'm very aware. I would say I have a high social like awareness. I'm very aware, like there's people here, this going on, you know. And I was not comfortable with talking like this to the camera to begin with, and you know, well, how could I have gotten better and more comfortable with it any other way than just going out and doing it anyway, you know? I mean, if you go back in videos, I probably look more like awkward, probably less you know, less engaged, because I'm a little like you know, aware that people are looking at me, seeing me talk to the camera. But I had to go through that in order to become comfortable with it as I am now. And this I must squeeze in somewhere. Like I'm obviously talking about, in order to get what you want, become who you want to be, overcome the fears you have to actually do something. You can't just sit around thinking about it, reading about it, watching videos about it, talking about doing it without doing anything. You have to live it. You have to actually do something. And just so you, maybe I can give you an idea or make you think about something where you might be doing this right now. Like, just because I'm talking about this doesn't mean that I'm perfect, you know. I've understood a lot about it, but I still do these things with something. So for instance, like I've known for quite some time that I don't want to be employed my whole life. I want to be my own person. I want to have an own business, you know. And for a long time I just talked about it, but I was saying I'm not ready yet, I need to know this, I don't quite understand this, so of course I shouldn't be starting yet. But I learned that I will never get to that point when I just know, like, this is how to run a business. Of course you learn as you do it. And so slowly but steadily, this is the thing, because we all want to be good at something immediately. But yeah, I just started doing it. I just started saying that I'm online coaching, this is the price, this is what included, you know, without really, like, because you have all these thoughts like, should I charge more, should I charge less, should I include this, should I say this, you know. But you have to just try and see, and then you make adjustments as you go, and you learn and you get better at it. And so to take some other examples about that, like if you're afraid of going to the gym for whatever reason, like just going there for a short bit, even if you cut the workout short, like you were thinking about doing more but you became too uncomfortable and went home, you know. That's like me with the panic attacks. I did that sometimes. I wanted to work half days at least during that time, but sometimes I had to leave early. But it wasn't a failure, it was strong, it was good of me. I tried my best going against that, and I got much closer to getting over it just going to work for a little bit than not going there at all. You see what I'm saying? So if you have some other fear, like you're just socially anxious, I don't know, there's a party, like you feel like you want to go, but you're also afraid because I don't know, you're insecure, you think people will look at you or think you're ugly or think you're whatever, you know. Just go there, be there for a bit, you feel uncomfortable, you leave. The same thing. The next time, you'll feel more comfortable. And in the end, if you keep exposing yourself to these things that you're afraid of, you teach yourself that it wasn't so bad. In fact, this is quite nice. Yeah, I can relax. This is all good. There's no problem. A little all over the place, as I often am when I semi-improvise a video like this, but I hope you could learn something from this. It's so important. Like, any fear, again I repeat it because I take some examples, but I want you to understand you can apply to any fear you have that you want to get over, or any goal you have that you want to reach. This kind of reasoning applies. So if you like this video, please hit like, please leave a comment. What do you think about this? Can you tell me about any story of something you overcame, or how you got good at something, doing it this way, not being good at it to start with? Please subscribe for more content, like motivating content like this, but also about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, yeah, self-improvement. Okay guys, anyways, I kind of stumble on my words there. Thank you guys for this time. I'll see you in another video. Peace.